Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Download the Uplift, a place where when we fall, we try and uplift you. My name is Gabriel Mark. I am one of your fantabulous hosts here at Download the Uplift, joined as always by the dude that is melting in a frying pan in 117 degrees, sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. That's what they say, Dane Davis.
What up? And just like sizzling in a frying pan, I don't know if you look on the left-hand side of my screen, but I'm the bacon placer right now.
Yes, we are on a new platform. We were on one called Riverside for the first episodes, and it's a bit of a headache. We'll put it that way. So now we're on StreamYard. What up, StreamYard? If you hear this and we get big, we want it for free. But on StreamYard, we can add in cool little. We got some stuff lined up for you, but we can add in. This week I'm a burger flipper, and his says Dane Davis bacon placer, and we're gonna have new jobs every week because we're not just podcasters.
Yeah, it's an official job title, bacon placer.
Yeah,
very important. Couldn't have bacon burgers without it.
Did you ever work at a fast food spot, like ever?
No, I didn't. The only, like, I guess, super demanding, like, pay your dues job that I had was at Walgreens. But yeah, none of the food industry or like service industry specific jobs. So, yeah. What about you?
I think everyone should take a turn in a service industry job just so you can see like how people are. It's like, come on, man. Like, we're running a podcast here about positivity, but some of these people, because I bartended, I valeted cars, I've bus tables, I've a bar backed, all kinds of stuff with people. And some people like, first of all, what's going on?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if you've worked at Walgreens, but it's basically the same thing. You like. Not every position. Like if you were in the photo department, it's great, right? You're back stocking, and then occasionally someone's like, "I need photos." But no, if you're on the front register, that's the front lines right there. It's like firing squad.
Did you ever have anyone come in there just like hammered? And this is a Walgreens. Oh yeah,
yeah. Hammered and who knows what else, but mainly what we'd get was just impatient people, and then like like the regulars and stuff like that. People buying cigarettes, they just kind of like slam some money on the counter, and they're like, "Where's my pack?" And you're like, "Oh, I gotta count it. I just gotta make sure."
Yeah, you should have it ready.
Yeah.
Well, people don't know, like, Las Vegas is one of those places where there's literally video poker and booze everywhere, including Walgreens, right? So you could. Did you guys sell Cowboys?
There's booze. Yeah. I don't know about video poker. That might be like on the strip or something like that. Maybe
there was one at CVS down the street from that one, but
CVS has to put a machine in so that they can compete with Walgreens. No, that's. That's messed up. CVS is cool. I like it.
Oh yeah, we heard about Walgreens decline a couple weeks ago. Well, this is week 10. Things are looking pretty good here at the channel. We're working hard every day. At least some of us are.
Oh wow!
I'm just playing, brother. Nah, we're trying to work hard on the channel. Solid growth on all platforms. Slow but steady. So there are people watching. There are people engaging. Week 10. How do you feel?
Well, I don't know. I mean, the comment about some of us not working hard, I think that's the downfall of Download the Uplift. That's where everything just went downhill.
Download the Uplift, downfall.
Yeah, and then people are going to be like, "What happened to John and Dane and Download the Uplift?"
The VH1 behind the music. Little did they know those tiki cups were filled with whiskey all the time.
Yeah.
Slowly.
Clear whiskey. Some messed up stuff. Clear whiskey.
On that note, tiki check.
Well, you definitely know mine's clear.
Yeah, buddy.
It's vodka.
God bless you. If that's just warm vodka. Well,
Why is it warm?
If you're listening to this, I hope you have a tiki cup in your possession and drinking out of it. So welcome to joining us. We appreciate you. In other news, I talked to my co-host. We have a lot of meetings and writing meetings on and off air. This is a 24-hour operation here at Download the Uplift. And Dane expressed, he's like, hey, man, I want to start spreading some positivity in my own solo videos. So in August, one of the Fridays, or maybe a different day, we'll see, you're going to have a look into the mind of my co-host, Dane Davis, as he walks you through some kind of mental puzzle on his own solo video. So we look forward to that, Dane.
It's a very complicated mind, man.
Let's see, a bonus thought. Oh, this is random, and comment down below. Have you ever seen The Accountant with Ben Affleck? He's literally an accountant, but an assassin as well.
No, but that, I mean, that sounds familiar, but it sounds like every assassin movie.
Well, he does have like the tie, and I'll tell you what, I remember looking at like, what is that going to be about? And it's on Netflix. If you guys have Netflix, it was awesome. It was really good, dude. It was a little like traumatic in some parts when they like showed his childhood. It kind of messed with my head a little bit, but The Accountant, go check it out. It's freaking dope.
It's a new one?
No, it's from like 2009 or something.
Oh, okay.
2016, somewhere in that time, because I'm thinking of his F-150. But dude, The Accountant with Ben Affleck. Please.
I'll check it out.
It's a Johnny Snowball endorsement. There it is. What else with show notes? Before we get to the biggest note of all. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a Walmart near you, every school supply is on sale. And I'm happy to say I've filled up my first journal. And you can get 80-sheet college-ruled composition book, all different pages, all different kinds, made in the USA, baby. That's why I know I won the lottery, because I was born in the USA. Shout out Creed, The Office, 50 cents. So none of you people have any excuses. Go buy one. I bought a green one, just like the movie where the Mud Dogs won the Bourbon Bowl. All right. What do you think about cheap journals?
No, it's good. The composition book is definitely the way to go, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You don't anything like too fancy, but you could also, I don't know, you could do something with that. Put like a book cover on it.
No, dude, this is what it's about, because you journal so much that you just run through these things. Listen, I get it. I mean, it's nice you get the leather one. That's nice too. But I recommend this over doing it on your phone. Refer to my, maybe I'll link it down below. A brand new video about journaling, guys. And then finally, the biggest news of all, this time, this place, next Monday, we're going to have guest number 2. One of my best friends since 2006. We're practically family. I think it's more so that way. His kids are on my fridge. But all that aside, this dude is a real estate guru. He's a master. He's flipped places. He's done Airbnb, aka short-term rentals. He's managed literally. He's a self-made dude. Started from the bottom. Now he's here, and he's gonna spread some knowledge. He's actually really stoked to come on. And I'm just so happy to have our second guest. And to be honest, for him to spread knowledge to not only our audience but you and I, Dane.
Oh, for sure. I want to learn so much about real estate. But yeah, I've never gotten into it. Pretty much garbage at it right now.
He's definitely going to lead us down the road. And the thing is, I don't know. He's such he's such like a knowledgeable dude about this stuff. I'm like, hey man, you got to like explain this. I mean, like explain it to me like I'm like in third grade. But I got some cool questions, and just like everything, this is a mental health based channel, and we're gonna ask him, dude. There's a lot of stuff that gets thrown at you. How do you handle it? How do you delegate family? All this stuff. So I'm really stoked to talk to him, man.
Well, the one thing I will say, I've got a friend too who's in real estate, and I always hear about the just deals not going through all the way, and he spends so much time like just trying to get that deal to happen, speaking with the client and everything. Mm-hmm. And just just falls through, man. It's sales, right? It's sales basically, but I think it's a lot more feast and famine when you're starting out on that job.
Oh yeah. Oh, especially if you're a low man without a network, for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well, he did that too. I forgot actually. Yeah, he sells them. He has like his license. I remember living at his house at one point, and he's like, "I gotta go show this place. I'll be back." I was like, "So."
Oh, what does he do in real estate? Which we should probably just talk about next time. But what does he do?
What do you mean?
Well, you said oh, he also sells them. But what does he do aside from selling them?
Oh, he develops them.
Okay.
Rents them out, deals with commercial, residential. Dude, he's literally all aspects of like God's earth. He deals different states, different zoning issues. It's crazy, man.
Wow,
it's just
that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm stoked to talk to him about it. I mean, the thing is, we'll try and it's like the Johnny episode was, I think, an hour and a half. So it's going to be a long episode, and it's going to be kind of late where he is out in Boston. So we definitely appreciate him coming on late for us because, schedules are tricky with podcasting, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah. When you're on all ends of the country and
yeah. Well, this is just something we're going to have to deal with. Or if you're ever thinking of starting a podcast and guests, like that's the big thing that Steve-O did is he just got an RV and he goes to the guests. But right now with StreamYard, we're going to see how this thing goes for us. But yeah, so anything going on in the world, Dane? Or do you want me to tell you about some stuff going on in the world? Or
I got something.
What's going on?
It's not quite Nitroplast. So it's not quite there.
Cool.
But no, so do you know what July 7th was?
No.
July 7th was World Chocolate Day, which I didn't know even exists.
Awesome.
Or it existed. I didn't know it existed. And apparently, there are other chocolate day celebrations that exist. There's National Chocolate Day in the United States on October 28th. And then the U.S. Confectioners Association lists the 13th of September as International Chocolate Day, which coincides with the birth date of Milton S. Hershey.
When was he born?
He was born September 13th, 1857.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Dang, dude. Hershey's the big dog, right?
Well, it depends on who you talk to. I mean, I'm more of a Cadbury's person, but
cool.
Yeah, like Hershey's for the United States, I'd say.
Well, how did you celebrate National Chocolate Day, my guy? Are you a sweets guy? I can't really remember.
It depends on the time of year and the time of, well, I was going to say time of the month, but the day. I don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. Maybe some of you do, right. Get chocolate, get whatever you want. No, but I'll go through like phases where I'll just buy a bunch of chocolate from like Amazon, a bunch of chocolate from like Africa and everything, and then I'll just a solid week of just eating unhealthy amounts of chocolate. So,
well, see, now that's the thing about chocolate, bro. I can't show the audience, but if you looked at my freezer right now, I have 90% cacao chocolate, which is not like what you think biting into a Hershey bar, but dark chocolate is actually really good for you. I mean, there's a ton of health aspects for it. So I put that on my Greek yogurt as my dessert. I'm trying to get, eat relatively healthy, but but they have like the different percentages, the 85, 70 and the less percentage chocolate. And then it tastes better, which is strange, but that's cool, man. African chocolates, like what is that a lot of like sugar-free stuff or?
No. So, I mean, my favorite is milk chocolate. So I'm on the unhealthy realm of that, but that's like cool. dark chocolate is great. If you want chocolate, it's good for you. Apparently,
it is.
That's what they're saying now. But yeah, no, I'm more about milk chocolate, and in Africa, Cadbury's is huge, and Nestle as well. Basically all the British chocolate.
So, dude, check this out. So Here are a couple things. 7 proven health benefits of dark chocolate. We should have just had a whole podcast about this, but maybe we will. Like next year, we won't remember. It's very nutritious. So it has fiber, iron, magnesium, copper, manganese. Powerful source of antioxidants. Let's see. It may improve blood flow and lower blood pressure, which is crazy to think about.
I need to do that.
Get that chocolate, baby. Raises HDL, protects LDL from oxidation. We talked about this. I think cholesterol may reduce.
I think so.
May reduce heart disease risk. May protect your skin from the sun. Come on, I'm always jogging.
Well, like if you smear it on your skin,
right? Yeah, what is that? The bioactive compounds in dark chocolate may also be great for your skin. The flavonoids can protect against sun damage. Sweet. And then finally, it can improve your brain function. Well, I recommend this to you, my friend. I say go out next time you're at Walmart. Go try. Just buy like 85%. It's just like, whoa, this is not what I was thinking about. It's like almost
bitter. Yeah. Well, yeah. So the cacao seed, it's very bitter until you refine it down and everything. I actually watched the video and like there's this dude who's like into chemistry. He's really cool. Like he'll turn like a pair of socks into like Gatorade or something, like something crazy like that.
Whoa!
Like he converts everything like chemically and all that stuff. But he did his own chocolate bar and like failed I think 3 times before he got something that was decent. So
I feel like I might have heard of that. I don't think I've seen that. I'm not even kidding. Is that the same? Wait, is that cacao? Is that the same thing as coffee and also illegal substances? How does that all work? Scarface?
Am I? Maybe I'm getting it wrong, but
comment down below that we're jerks and we don't know this, but we'll talk about it maybe next week.
We're not chocolatiers. That's
chocolatiers. Speaking of things that you can take, this actually isn't a current event, but it's something that I found so fascinating I wanted to bring up. Yo, check this out. Did you know that Advil, ibuprofen, all that stuff, like, hey, I'm not feeling well, you hurt yourself physically, right? You take Advil sometimes, right?
Yeah. Or leave the competitor.
Or leave. Yeah. Did you know, and this is from a couple of years ago, but it just came up in my X feed, so I had to like research it. Did you know that this being a mental health channel and us caring about your emotional and help and all that stuff, even though we're kind of wild children, we do care about you. Did you know that it actually can help you with your emotional pain as well? Like it's proven that like Advil, like if you're going through really bad heart, like a broken heart or like mourning a loss or something, like it's been proven that this actually over-the-counter painkiller could alleviate emotional pain, but should you use it? So it literally, I don't know exactly how it works. I didn't go into it, to be honest with you. I guess I should have researched it more, but just the sheer fact that it's like, it kind of almost makes sense. Like, do you think maybe your brain and your hearts might be rapidly pumping and your brain's like, so active that it gives you like a headache or something because you're so sad or whatever? What do you think about this?
Well, yeah, I'd say it might be true, but I'm a bit skeptical because maybe, yeah. So let's see
but it does add to body research that shows that acetaminophen, which is Tylenol,
acetaminophen.
Thank you, Dane. You please take the big words for us, will you? That is officially the role. Says,
I'm terrible with them as well, man.
No, last week you had some zingers, man. It was awesome. Dulls emotional pain, potentially because similar brain circuitry is engaged when we feel physical pain. Oh,
so yeah, that's kind of what I stopped because I saw acetaminophen, but I could see that if it pertains to like some kind of chemical blocking kind of thing. Yeah, I can see that happening with sort of putting you in a better frame of mind. But as far as like a physiological thing, I can see it, but a psychological thing, I'm skeptical about that, but I think they're talking about the physiological thing anyway. So
it says women who took a dose of ibuprofen reported less hurt feelings from emotionally painful experiences, such as being excluded from a game or writing about a time they were betrayed. Who knows? I thought that was pretty cool. I don't know. Listen, when you're in a heartache like that, dude, when you're in some like extreme pain, you'll do anything, right? Anything to kind of numb that. Unfortunately, sometimes it can be a little bit more destructive, but dude, heartache is one of those things where we'll have a pod about this, I'm sure, but just briefly, it's one of those things where like the only thing that's going to help you is time, right? I mean, or maybe trying to get a rebound or something, but dude, it's the worst, man.
Yeah, no, for sure. I've had like a few cases in my life where it took a little while, and I'm sure like for some people probably have like a lot more than I've had, and as far as like heartaches and breakups and stuff like that go. But yeah, I've had a couple of those where just it takes a long time to get past it and all that stuff. And going out, hanging out with friends, meeting someone new. It's that does help. But yeah, sometimes you just need the time anyway. Get past it.
Well, we had a podcast all about not dwelling on the past. Joe Rogan had someone on, and rumination, I think it's called, which is constantly thinking about, the past, which is that's the worst thing you can do. She said that like the best thing you can do is exactly what you just said. It's like, yo, stay busy, go get outside, get in nature. I actually have a video coming up going outside in sunlight and nature and grass and animals that like literally makes you feel better. But like you said, stay busy.
No, for sure. I agree with that.
Check this out, bro. Me being 39, about to be 40, things are looking pretty grim. Are they? Or aren't they? Check this guy out. This dude, a 44-year-old Iowa congressman, signed an emergency contract with the Sioux City Explorers, which is like a minor league baseball team. And the dude just absolutely slayed things, and he threw 100 pitches into the 7th inning. It's freaking crazy, man. Like he literally, usually this is like a 20s, like early 20s thing to do. So to throw that many pitches, he goes 7 of the 9 Milwaukee Milkmen were MLB draft picks. So he like literally was striking out dudes. Look at this, 6.2 innings pitches, 2 runs and 2 strikeouts. Look at this dude, absolute stud. And normally he's creating laws in Congress. It's pretty cool.
You never know, man. Like all the hidden talents in the office, right? Like there's so many people where I work where they're all musicians, they're all like engineers and stuff like that, audio engineers. It's super cool to like. I think the CEO of the company I work for, he's a musician. I think he's also a biochemist or something like that, or something like that, like something ridiculous. So
that's awesome. At Radio Shack, right?
Radio
Is
Shack.
that place even still open?
Not that I know.
Comment down below if you went to Radio Shack back in the day and had to give your address for batteries. Like they had to put you in the system.
And comment if you went to Radio Shack these days, because then we know that it's still a thing. So,
well, back to that Congress dude. I think the mind is such an amazing thing that he was like, all right. And his brain told him, supposedly like the stories of like moms and stuff lifting cars like off their kids or whatever. Your body supposedly is capable, or your muscles are capable of way more than the brain allows them to. So maybe it's one of those things where the brain was like, all right, we're in the show now. And all of a sudden he got this boost of youth or something like that.
Well, a couple things on that. And this could be an interesting whole video. But to me, I look at it as like, you're constantly being affected by all the chemicals happening in your body, like all the chemicals going through your brain, all that stuff. So the thing with like lifting a car up off of your kids or whatever. Like adrenaline helps out with not with your body just not even registering, like, are you in pain? Is this, extremely heavy? Are you going to damage yourself? So I think that part of it definitely helps. And then, yeah, I mean, like, what are you going to do? Are you going to let your kids be pinned under a car? Right. And then as far as like this guy, right, I think it's any kind of performance based job that you have, or like, talent or hobby, whatever it is. There's so much of a psychological thing to it, a component. Like you can almost step in your own way if you think about it too much. If you like tense up on something versus like just going for it. It's like a balance. It's a balance of just winging it and following what your body does naturally, but then also the practice and like the experience that you have.
That's an interesting premise. Balance. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's like every episode.
Well, supposedly, like, think about I don't want, I'm not going to use the word trigger warning. All right. But this is something that you might get queasy. So mute it for a second. But like, technically you can easily bite your own tongue off, but your brain won't let you. Like, it's just so wild.
Yeah.
Like so wait, real quick to clear things up. Do you think it's possible that like the stories of a mother picking the car up off the infant, or dude, imagine like Winston was hurting, dude, I would be able to like do something crazy. I already know it. I'd be like, just, I don't know.
I don't know for sure, but I think it's true. It's been like it's been a tale for a long time. So I think those things are true. But when you say lift the car, I think it might be like just a half an inch off of the child while they quickly run,
spinning it like a pizza. Hey, look at my car. Well, listen, we don't want anyone to ever have to experience that, for the record. Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
I think you'll definitely be surprised in a survival situation, like what you'll do, what you'll be able to do, and all that stuff. Yeah.
Wow. There was the Chilean soccer team or whatever that went down in the mountains in the 70s. They started eating like seatbelts and stuff because they were so hungry. Like they made a documentary about it, but it's all in Espanol, and mine Espanol isn't that good. But you've heard of that, right? The 70s.
I briefly heard of that story.
I guess I had one more backup thing. This isn't a current event either, but Monday, somehow I stumbled upon TikTok Live. I can't go live and download the Uplift Can because we only have 10 followers. Make sure you follow us on TikTok, guys. But apparently you need like 1,000. But you can watch and comment on other people's. So somehow I got into that vortex. Let me just say that, what did I write? I wrote TikTok Live is a cesspool and filled with gatekeepers and creepers. Just stay off of there, people. All right. It's weird. And it's literally just people just sitting and they're like so excited when someone comments, and in the whole dopamine exchange, it was weird. But I got to just mess with them. I was like, why is Olive Garden so good? Why is Yellowstone such a good show? And I was just messing with them. And then, and it says like, do you want to join? So I hit join, and they go, sorry, you only have blah, blah, blah followers. We don't know you. And I was like, you guys are the corniest people ever. But either way, this is a negative, everybody. I'm just letting you know, be careful of live TikTok because it's weird.
Is it like Omegle, basically?
What's that?
Omegle is like one of those live chat room websites. I haven't been on it, but I've seen like TikToks and stuff of people that literally they'll go on Omegle and they just do like crazy stuff. Like they'll play a guitar riff or whatever. And it's just these people like going from chat room to chat room, probably, who knows what's happening.
It's exactly that. There was some kid playing guitar. I was like, you won't play Dimebag Cowboys from Hell right now. Remember you banged it out that time when you came to visit? And like the kid actually goes, yo, I've never heard this before. And it made me like lose faith in humanity. I was like, you're a shredder. You don't know about Dimebag. Do. and he like was struggling. He almost did it, but I wish I could find a video of you doing it. You did pretty well.
Yeah, I probably struggled more than he did. What the crazy thing when you're talking about like guitar riffs, like classic guitar riffs, is I work at Guitar Center. I guess we'll say that.
I thought it was Radio Shack.
Radio Shack? Yeah. Well, I work at Radio Shack, the guitar division. Radio Shack. No, but point being, it's like anytime you're in the store, you still hear Crazy Train, you still heir Iron Maiden going on. Even like Smoke Underwater.
I was just gonna ask. Is that, do people still do the dun 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 dun?
Smoke awesome. Underwater. Yeah.
And fire in the sky. Isn't that what it is?
I think so.
And fire in her eyes. Oh, that's great, man.
Hey, guitar players and everything. But now we're going to talk about traveling.
Oh, really?
Get it, John.
Ladies and gentlemen, when we're talking about traveling, that brings us to our quote of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, the quote of the week brought to you by Download the Uplift. Are you feeling down? Well, come on and subscribe and you'll feel uplifted. The quote of the week is, travel is not really about leaving our homes, but leaving our habits. Pico ayer. Again, the quote of the week, it's at the bottom if you're watching on Spotify or YouTube. Travel is not really about leaving our homes, but leaving our habits. And today, we're calling this show Travel Therapy, exploring the mental health aspects of travel. And Dane actually just got back from a pretty wild trip with his girl, but I'm sure that part was cool. But he also was working and he had a lot of responsibilities on his plate. And he's like, dude, we were talking about the ups and downs. He's like, bro, we should have an episode about that. So here we are, baby. And we're going to dive into it. So you thought of this in the first place. Dane, thank you so much for this, by the way, brother. What's up?
First, spun it as the benefits of traveling because I really love traveling. But yeah, so I did 4th of July up in like central/northern Nevada. It's a little town called Ely, and it was awesome. Great being there. We did like a 4th of July event. Just basically had a band playing and some music in between. No, but it was awesome, man. It was great. Even the travel wasn't that bad. Like the road to Ely is not too bad. It's a 2-lane road, so that's kind of a bit sketchy.
Wicked sketchy.
But it's like way less traffic than going to California, and yeah, it's just it was a super chill little trip. And actually, the work aspect of it, I actually like having some work because it kind of like pays for everything. So,
amen to that, right?
Yeah.
But what made you I actually think you told us a little bit about the trip last week, but what made you think about the whole, like why it was so benefits? Like, do you have any just opening thoughts on our subject this week on quote of the week and travel therapy?
Yeah. So, I think for both of us, me and my girlfriend, we just love the people there. We love the whole like culture. Like everyone was super nice. It's a small town kind of atmosphere. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it was good to get away from like a big city sort of thing, and everyone was just like super friendly. Like they're just like, come back, like visit the town, go to like the museums and everything, come play golf, and they're like we'll put you up, we'll give you a room and all that stuff. So it's just it's a great great sort of atmosphere, and everyone knows each other. So really, I think the most positive thing about it, and what I love about travel, is you just get a different kind of perspective on things, and a different way of living. Yeah.
Everything from, well, see, you've traveled like big time travel to Ireland to see your bro, right?
Yeah, I traveled to Ireland
Europe.
twice. So, yeah. So I traveled just to Ireland to see my brother, and then I traveled to Europe for a tour that a lot of people know about in a bad way. And then yeah, we ended up in Ireland at the end of the tour, so I got to see my brother again, which was awesome. It's a cool part of the trip.
I love, because I think there is a ton of positive stuff to traveling, but when you think of, the mental toll, I think it's, when I know I'm going to travel like the end of this month, I'm going to see, for like everyone that I've talked about this 6 times, so let's make it 7. My whole Halo group chat, we're all getting an Airbnb, and we're all going to meet some of these dudes I haven't met before. So we're all going to like just hang out for a weekend and raise some hell. But there is going to be a legit boost of happiness. And when I get off the plane, I was thinking, to the times I go to Cabo, bro, there was like a legitimate dopamine dump. As soon as I like touch down, you got a pocket full of money. You don't know what's going to happen. You know it's going to be exciting. So just the thought and like the act of traveling, like one of the pros to it is just like, yo, you're feeling good, full of like, what's going to happen? Exotic beverages, exotic friends, who knows?
Yeah, no, for sure. And so the actual traveling aspect, basically, no one likes it. Like there's some people that like to actually travel and like the plane rides and stuff like that. I don't mind it sometimes, but one thing I will say is like I did a plane ride to Texas, and then at the very last minute we got this offer to upgrade to first class, like for super cheap, because I can't afford just to do it like every time and do it full price. But that was amazing. I love traveling for first class. And who doesn't?
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's so much better though, like compared to just, sitting in like four seats packed together, or like 3 seats. It's definitely way better. But yeah, I mean, no one really likes the traveling aspect. I think if we could all just like snap our fingers and get there, we'd prefer that. But if you could just teleport there, me personally, just the science behind it, I wouldn't want to do it.
Mental toughness, bro. Like if you can like look at it instead of, I'm sitting in this silver tube of, with God knows what kind of smells and temperatures and aches and pains, and just be like, I like it, man. That's big on you. That's huge.
Well, yeah. So for the most part, I don't really mind it. Like I'm pretty chill on traveling. The other thing that I have that puts me at an advantage is, I think we talked about it a couple of weeks back, but I can sleep anywhere.
Oh, so,
yeah.
Amen. Shoot.
In fact, I think I brought it up. I always bring stuff to do on the plane. Like I'll bring my laptop, and I'm like, I'm going to get work done, and that's my goal. Mm-hmm. But I just end up falling asleep. I end up drinking like 2 or 3, maybe 4 Jacks.
Awesome.
And then I go to bed. And that's it.
Time for night.
Yeah. Yeah. And 5, 10 hours later, whatever it is, depending on what part of the world I'm traveling to, I wake up and it's like, we got an hour left to land.
I mentioned the happiness boost overload, but it's also, it also strengthens your relationships. Like I'm sure that, like when I think of that, like there's memories, whether I was in the RV and I met new people, or if I was in Cabo with the boys, or if I was, even when I was like a little kid and we went to Canada for a paintball trip, like all these trips are memories that are never going to go away. And when you talk about the benefits of traveling and mental health, it's like, you're growing bonds. I'm sure just that recent trip with you and your girl, like, dude, you probably like, even if it was like a funny laugh, like over something you saw on the road, but that's going to be with you forever. So I think that's a huge benefit to your, like, what's going on upstairs and traveling.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. If you travel together, you're in situations where it's like you're stuck in a car together for 4 hours, or you're stuck in a plane for 4 hours or whatever. And like,
Right.
if you can travel well with someone, then like you get along pretty well with them for sure.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. If you're fighting, if you want to, if you want to kill them, maybe rethink some things. but no, we had such a good time, and it was so easy getting there, getting back, and all that stuff. So,
well, think about like maybe one of your trips to any of your trips. I mean, I'm sure they would be memorable with whoever you were with, but do you think that the act of traveling like heightens those memories and they store them away up in that melon of yours more? Like, that's what I was kind of thinking. Like, even like a wedding.
so just the fact that you traveled like kind of makes it a bigger deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so, because it's unless you're traveling like every single day of your life, which is usually related to work, which you probably don't want to really remember too much of. Obviously it's a bigger deal. Like, you got to get the ticket, you got to get onto the plane or drive wherever you're going. So yeah, like anything that puts you out of the norm, like it just gears your brain to start making more like visceral memories, basically. Like, because that's how it is when you're a kid. It's like new experiences impact you so much more than the everyday stuff you go through. You just forget about those things. Adding to what could be like a fairly normal thing, like, well, going to a wedding would still be a special deal, but going to a wedding and traveling somewhere, and maybe it's your first time together in that place, that's a pretty big deal. So
yeah, that's so wild. You said that, and that you said it like that, because that was another thing I had noted down, is like, one of the huge benefits of traveling is that it definitely increases your adaptability and your mental flexibility, because you were like, you mentioned booking the flight and finding out what to do while we're there, and that's exactly what I wrote. Like, hey man, when's last call in this city? Like, you got to find that out. But like, you got to start this jujitsu. Like, do they have bird scooters? Like, and it might be challenging, but that's a lot of the time we talk about on this channel, like, things that are challenging, like, if anything, they make you stronger. So that's definitely a benefit. So when you're with either alone or with a relationship, and you have to go to a new place and new language, possibly, oh my goodness, in Europe, you probably dealt with that, like the language, or was there a lot of English over there?
No, yeah, they're well, first of all, this would be a huge conversation to just like dive into, but we didn't go out that much in Europe, unfortunately. I would have rather experience more of like the local and like nightlife in Europe, but we didn't go out that much. So mainly it was just me with the band.
What a bummer.
And but everywhere we went to like order food and stuff like that, everyone spoke English, and because we were mainly in London and Scotland and stuff like that. We were going to go to places like Germany and France, and that would have maybe France would have been the place where there might have been a bit of a language barrier.
But Americans, you don't know.
Well, I don't know. I would have loved it. I thought it'd be cool to go visit France, but yeah, we didn't make it.
I like that challenge too. When Chase actually was like the first time he convinced me to go to Cabo, and Cabo was very Americanized, so like a lot of people speak English. But if you go off the beaten path a little bit, then it's like, yo, this is Mexico. And we went and exploring one night, and like, people didn't speak. He's fluent, but thank God. But it was cool, like the challenge, and me kind of learning Espanol. It's like it was fun. I feel that, so I that's why I could see you, like if you guys were in France or something. But there's plenty of time, brother. I got like 18 years on you, so you're you got plenty of time. Old man Snow over here. I'm running out of time. 39.
The funniest thing about that, just a side note, like I think it was when I was 30, so it's a couple years back. I was chatting with one of my buddies. He's a bartender, and he was like, "It's like you're 30. Just wait until you reach 40." That like, and he's just complaining about it. And there was a guy with us that we were kind of chatting with as well. He was friends with the bartender, and he was 50. So I just turned around like, yeah, like every time like 30-year-olds complain about their age, like 40-year-olds get pissed off. Every time 40-year-olds complain about the 50-year-olds definitely get pissed off.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, and then all those age groups, there's people that are like 80, 90 who are like, I wish I was 50. So,
oh yeah,
I have that mentality where I'm like, yeah, there's definitely like different kinds of pressures and stuff once you reach 30, where you're like, okay, I gotta like figure something out, and I've had these pressures since I was like in my 20s, but I mean realistically actually probably in my teen years, but like it kind of just gets more, it just gets heavier, right? Like the older you get. So I get it, but at the end of the day, I look at it and I go like, yeah, there's people who are like in their 80s and their 90s and stuff like that who are like, like probably even saying like, I wish I could just go back to being 60, and that's 30 years away for me. So I'm just enjoying what I got right now, trying to.
I'm just, dude, I was just kidding around. Damn, man.
No, I'm just,
it's wild though. When I valeted cars, I literally remember a dude saying exactly that. He goes, because I was like 24. I was like, yeah, man, I'm getting up there. and the guy's like, dang, dude, he didn't say dang, dude. He was like, I just wish I could be 40 again. I'm not kidding. Like, I'm not just saying that because you brought that up. But yeah, I remember standing outside in Providence, Rhode Island, and the guy's like, 24. I wish I could be 40 again. But no, dude, I don't. Dude, I embrace where I'm at. I'm very thankful. And did I mention that you can get a journal for 50 cents?
No, I just think it's funny. Anytime people bring that up, it's like yeah, there's always time. There's always time, man.
Yeah, there's always time. There's always time to also think that not only is there positive aspects to traveling, but there's some negative aspects too. Like,
yeah, it takes time to travel.
Let me tell you something, brother. That's one of the things that are pretty negative. One of the things that comes out of my head is that just travel stress. I'm an overthinker. I really am. I try not to be. I practice every mindfulness exercise you can do. Well, within reason. I don't have like bells and stuff, but that is huge with traveling. Like when I have to lay out. See, here's the thing. When it comes to even just packing, I like to get everything on the bed before it goes in the suitcase. First of all, are you carrying on or are you checking your bag? Comment down below. I am a carry on if possible person. Like I'll go without certain things just so I can put it right in the overhead. And plus, travel hack from Download the Uplift to you. If it's a full flight, still try and carry on and they'll check it for free. But instead of charging you like $20 like JetBlue does now. But that travel stress thing, it's a real thing because what to pack? Oh, is it going to be good weather? Are we going to something formal? Are we going in a pool? And what are we going to do while we're there? And all this stuff adds to just travel stress and not just packing, but, is it going to be on time? It's a lot.
See, I overthink a lot of things, but when it comes to traveling and what to pack, I'm basically the night before, I get a bag, I chuck clothes in there, and I'm like, okay, I'll do a hoodie, I'll do some jeans. That's a cold weather. out the way, and then I'll do some shorts. I'll throw some swim trunks in there as well. It's easy, and then your toothbrush, and then your shampoo, and for me conditioner, and I'm good.
Listen, it can be. I'm glad that you can be relaxed with that stuff. You sound very mindful. It sounds like you've been listening to a lot of Download the Uplift. But I think one thing that we all have to deal with, and one of the negative aspects of traveling, is homesickness. And I'll tell you this, man, a note that just comes to me is probably about day 3 or 4, man, I start missing Winnie bad, bro. My little Pomeranian, my little 14-year-old Pomeranian. I'm like, my dog. And homesickness thing is a real, like, if I don't care what anybody says, you talk about mental health negatives of traveling, homesickness is one. Right?
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, even with the last trip I did, we were thinking, like, should we stay another day? Should we, get another room, because we stayed at like 2 different hotels already.
Whoa.
Well, one, they didn't really have any rooms available that weren't like super pricey for what we could afford, but yeah, like I also just kind of wanted to go home and chill out for the weekend. That's something I think is a bit underrated, is like the staycations, right? Like you just call off work and you do nothing. You don't go out. Yeah, just chill out, chill on the couch, play some video games, go in the pool if you have it.
Amen.
And yeah, that's kind of what I feel a lot more these days. But that's just because like things have been pretty like hectic and stuff like that. So like I feel like when your schedule is like super busy and you're constantly just like trying to make deadlines or times for everything, it helps to just stay at home and do nothing.
Having a moment when there's nothing on your plate except just being able to relax and zen out, I'm totally with it. I feel that. Yeah. Well, I guess I just thought about all the traveling gurus that are going to be like, homesick. Man, I wish I was in India right now for like 4 months and I'll go to Antarctica. So I get it. But I guess it depends on what you have back home to be homesick about, right? I mean, some people are just nomads, and God bless them all.
If you're nomad, then it's like, the world is your home, right?
Yeah. Wow. Ooh, wow. No, I remember when I left for if you try and be a truck driver, you have to go train with somebody, and dude, it was like 6 weeks without Winston. That was rough, but yeah, I guess it all depends on what, like you said, if you're a nomad and your world is your home, or if I think the only other thing I could think of, I mean, there's comment down below what you think are one of the big pros and what are one of the big cons of traveling, because we'd love to hear from you. And then I would say health issues. Yeah, one of the craziest thing, your sleep schedule. Like right now, I'm on actually we had a whole thing about sleep, but if you're partying down in Mexico nonstop or something like that, like your sleep schedule is going to get screwed up, and it might even turn into a bender. Who knows what's going to happen, which clearly isn't good for your health. But, eating, or if you do like street food in some weird country, who knows, you could get food poisoning. But so health issues are a possible negative to traveling.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. When you get sick and you're out of the country or something like that's the worst, right? I personally haven't had that, but I've had family and everything that's gotten sick like outside the country, and yeah, the rest of the vacations, just not good for them. So
yeah, it's a nightmare.
That's definitely the thing. Like if you, like, let's say what about people with health issues and traveling? That's a bit of a rough thing. Like more stress to add to.
Well, like a diabetic or something?
Any health issues. Any health issues where something could go wrong, like on a plane, on anywhere, like that can be scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, you don't know what medical professionals or facilities are in the new place. Well, I think you would probably try and research a little bit ahead of time, but
yeah,
even the water
mattered a lot. Then yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I remember that was one thing. I was like, Chase, I don't know, bro. There's not going to be any water down in Mexico because you're not supposed to drink the water. He's like, there was so much bottled water. It was everywhere, especially we're at like a really nice hotel too.
Yeah. Well, and that's an interesting thing, an interesting difference. Like you come from places where it's like you could drink the tap water, even though recently
fluoride.
The fluoride's been going on forever. But in Africa, you don't want to drink the tap water either. We did, and I remember me and my brother when we were very little, we got super sick.
Oh yeah, that's scary.
And the doctor was like, well, yeah, you don't drink the tap water, and so we swore off of it, for the rest of the time that we were there. So there's certain countries where you don't want to really risk it, but we haven't really drank tap water over in the U.S. either. We drink like sparklets and stuff like that. So
yeah, I mean, I guess it's good to know that I could crack that faucet and have a drink. Well, let's give them something to drink. That's a 300 reference. If you haven't seen it, that's Leonidas is on my phone. It's awesome. Basically, they're pushing the people against the cliff. He goes, they look thirsty. And he goes, well, let's give them something to drink. It's a great scene. But what I'm saying is...
I remember it.
I couldn't tell you, like, what is this dude talking about? Well...
300 of what?
Well, like I was saying, I liked it. If I was thirsty, I could go get one, but nah, I at least run her through a Brita filter, man. I don't know, but that just shows we're so blessed to be in this country. I'm sure there's other countries that you can drink tap water, but
you can drink tap water anywhere. It's just
what's gonna happen after? That's a good call, Papa. Look, that's such a positive way to think of it.
Technically, you can do anything. You just have to be willing to accept the consequences.
Wow. Deep. Let me ask you a question, Dan, fellow co-host.
Yeah.
Do you have any tips to maintain good mental health while traveling? Any research on the show?
Yeah. You're like, did you do anything? No. Well, plenty of research from life experience. So there you go.
Hey, man. Oh, good rebuttal. He ain't lying.
I've been doing 15 plus years of research.
Namaste. Go ahead. What do you got? Like if Joe Schmo, I don't know. I feel bad for anybody named Joe Schmo at birth. Like
it's got to be someone. If
Kyle in Arkansas wants to know some tips to keep himself mentally fit, what do you think
for travel? The honest thing for me, I think you mentioned it a bit earlier, where it's like, homesick. I think this has to do with it a bit, but it's like who you travel with as well counts a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Who you do anything with, in my opinion, counts a lot, because for me, I could just sit there doing nothing, and if it's with the right person, then I'm having the time of my life. There could be an entire amazing concert going on, and maybe the person that you're with brings you down or whatever.
Yeah.
So, I'd say, like, if you're traveling, just try to get the most out of it. Try to do it for you and to be around the people that you love, or maybe it's just you. Maybe you're going by yourself. And we brought it up a bit as well. Like there's people who plan everything, and they go by the book and like by the schedule. And for me, I don't do those things. I kind of just go like, let's just do what we want to do the things that we feel like doing at the time. And I do also like to have like a little bit planned that sounds fun, but at the end of the day, it's like, be flexible with it, go with the flow. Like just try and enjoy that experience and meet people from that area if you can.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, just have fun. It doesn't have to be this serious thing. I don't think it. For me, I don't like the idea of being super regimented. I like the idea of like you have a couple ideas, and then the majority of it is like up in the air. It's like like we're gonna have dinner here, but then what's gonna happen after that? Oh, who knows? We're gonna go play golf here, but then what happens after that? Who knows? You just kind of go from there. So that's what I like doing.
That's so true, especially about like who you're with. I remember back in like the Fast and the Furious days, me and my buddies in Massachusetts, we would just all go hang out at like the local Burger King parking lot, but it was like the best nights ever. And that's all we did was just hang out. So you're right. I feel you on like it matters who you're with. Like and like you said, it could be like a concert, and if you're with like a bummer person, it's gonna bring the mood down. Like you could be in Fiji first class all the way, but if the person you're there with stinks, then that you would much rather be like with this crew at Burger King. Like me and you hanging out would be like more fun than Dubai with freaking sad sack over here. So yeah.
Yeah, just have fun and don't, if you don't want to go on a trip, like just don't do it.
Yeah,
you're gonna have a bad time.
A practical tip that I think some people know, but this is just like literally my rule of thumb now, is whenever I leave, even if it's for like 2 nights, I make sure my place is flawless. When I get back, like, the towels are hung. I already have like my pajamas, like my joggers, my hoodie, like next to the bed, next to my slippers. So like I can just, a horrible day of traveling, man, being able to come home to like a clean place or a clean room and a sense of peace. Like this, before we start getting into this mental health stuff. It's like, bro, having like your fortress of solitude be solitude is massive.
No, for sure. I agree with that. Of course, I struggle to keep things clean and all that. So, but I think that's definitely a good idea. So you don't have to like come home to like a bunch of stuff to do and all that. I agree.
Yeah. Plus just chaos, man. What about budgeting? I like to well, sometimes that goes right out the window on trips. You're like, hey, I'm getting around for the bar. Like, throw it on the credit card.
I've never done that, but budget flies out the door, right?
Yeah.
I'd say pick how much you want to spend on a trip and then double it.
Mm-hmm.
And then just be like, try to stick with what you want to spend, but be okay with the doubling thing. And unless your budget is like $5,000, maybe don't double that. Maybe just realize it might be $6,000.
If you're in that atmosphere, maybe you should. Well, dude, that's so wild. That's exactly what I had written down, man. That's so wild. It says plan how much you want to spend, and I said basically don't go over it. Oh no, I said basically don't go if you can't afford it. That's a good thing. But what were you saying about the $10,000? I'm sorry.
No, well, I said if you're like $5,000 for $5,000 for a trip, if it's a family trip.
Oh yeah,
that can be you don't want to double that, like, but you're probably going to spend like $1,000 more than that. So
especially if you go to tourist places, man, like, dude, Las Vegas has gotten obscenely expensive. Like, I don't remember the last time you actually had like a beer on the strip. It's like $14 or something's dumb like that. Like, obviously there's the places to get cheaper ones, but
you want to know how much a mixed drink is in Ely? How
much?
$4.
Ah, see, that's beautiful. A nice mixed drink. That's what it should be.
Yeah.
Dude, if you go to like, let's not even say the Wynn on the strip. Let's say like an average tier.
Oh my God. The Wynn.
The Wynn, it's like $30 for a drink.
Yeah. And it's honestly, it is a good time at the Wynn.
Oh,
it's very expensive.
Oh, it's the nicest hotel on the strip. I remember I did like gig work there, and people were like, what's the nicest hotel? And they keep building like Resorts World and the Fontainebleau, which I heard is dope. I would love to go.
But I did the opening of the Fontainebleau. It is pretty dope.
Did you see the crazy wall that spins, the mirror wall?
Oh yeah, what's wild about that is during, I think
pull it up.
I think it was the pandemic or somewhere around there. There was a video of that wall. It was like, this is like the secret wall in the Fontainebleau that no one knows about. So yeah, when I went there for the opening night, it like brought back that memory. I was like, that's the wall.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
But I was getting at the fact that they keep building all these crazy places, but the win is just like from the smell to like the cocktail waitresses. Oh my goodness. To like,
Yeah.
But you need to have a big bag if you want to go to the win. And I remember, I think it was 2020 when they were trying to get people back to Las Vegas, 2020, like late 2020, 2021. And he tried lowering, like Steve Wynn. He's like, all right, I'm going to lower the prices just to see. He's like, I don't want those people in my hotel. He's like, my stuff's so expensive because he wants, people that can afford it usually aren't like crazy people, but also could be like, but
yeah. Well, look, I've worked at the Wynn multiple times and stuff like that. Yeah. It's a great place, but yeah, you like even in the piano lounge that I worked at, yeah, you get some crazy people sometimes.
Yeah. Vegas, we're going to Vegas. I miss those days.
Those people I don't mind. Like I don't mind the dancing and stuff, but like, yeah, there's been some people that, let's just say they got kicked out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, on that note of Vegas, and my last like quick little teaser tip for people when they're traveling and keeping themselves sane is and you actually mentioned it too. It's just take breaks. Don't feel the need to pack in so much. And I thought about my first trip to Las Vegas was 2008 in August. It was my first time being there as a tourist. So we flew out, me and three boys from Boston. It was pool party all day in the extreme heat. Then stumble through the casino, and like we were on a budget. So we bought peanut butter, jelly, and a loaf of bread, but we didn't have anything to like spread it. So we'd use like playing cards and stuff to like spread the peanut butter, pass out for literally, I don't know, who knows, couple hours. Go just hop in the shower, so much cologne and freshness and ironing, go to the club all night, getting in all kinds of mischief, and then repeat. So it's pool party, nap, club, repeat, booze. Oh, booze is your fuel, baby. But
yeah,
that is a way to do it. I miss those days. But
how old were you?
Oh my gosh, dude. This was probably 2010. So 14 years ago, 25.
Yeah, I could do that at 25.
Easy, right?
Yeah.
Let's do it right now.
I honestly, I could do it for a day.
me and you, like, we're gonna bring it back. Like 16 hours in, like, man, I could use like a massage. Or I could use an IV.
Dude, a massage after a night like that, that'd be nice. I do like going to clubs, but most times I've gone for free, and that's very nice. I like the free aspect of it. But no, yeah, I agree. Don't try and pack like too much in, which is exactly it. It's like, it's what I like to do. You do a couple things here and there that you plan out beforehand, and then after that, it's just like whatever you want to do. You want to go to bed, go for it. You want to spend the whole night out in a club or whatever, do that. I think that's huge, being flexible. Well, in general, we just wanted to brush across a couple things with traveling, keeping you right. I don't know. Traveling in general, it can either be a nightmare or it can be a blessing or a little bit of both. But it's all about how you take care of yourself. Most of the time, well, no, that's not true. Sometimes things are in your control and sometimes they're not. But if they are in your control, like planning ahead, budgeting, going with people that don't stink, try and make those moves, because exactly like Dane said, if you're in the wrong situation with bad vibes and bad people and bad circumstances, the whole trip's gonna stink. So that's what I would say, is plan as much as you can for like variables and stuff, within reason, just the whole trip, not what you're going to do, but the trip in general. Try and go with good people. Make sure you listen to a lot of Download the Uplift. And what would you say, Dane, for some closing remarks? Yeah, I mean, if you're taking let's see here, like 10-hour trip, and you just download the Uplift for the first time, you can catch up on all the episodes and even the shorts, which are just the episodes.
Easy work. Of course, it's the go-to.
Yeah. And if you fall asleep during that, then you just have us like in your subconscious, and then who knows what will happen after that? I don't know.
Oh, wrong sound effect.
Yeah, it could be that. It could be that. Could have sadness.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing is if you're on long road trips, be patient with people that have to pull over all the time. Sometimes those rest stops will look good. You drink a lot of fluids, man. Let them pee. And also, I don't know. Some people are like music people on road trips. I am a podcast guy, but I get it. If it's sometimes the conversation's just on point and you get to, that's the best when the conversation's just flowing like a normal week with Dane and I. And you could just turn the music for background noise, and then you guys are just vibing out. Like, so what'd you really think about pretzels, man? Like, do you like the rods, or do you even like pretzels? And all of a sudden, you guys are talking for the whole road trip about it. So, I don't know.
About pretzels for 10 hours.
And other salty snacks.
Yeah.
Was there anything else?
No, I don't think so. I think it's I think for me it's pretty straightforward. I like traveling, but yeah, I've had some bad experiences here and there. Sometimes I don't like the trip itself. I don't like the plane ride, or I don't like the car ride. But yeah,
you didn't even mention
it's good.
What you thought of the quote of the week. Usually you give your commentary, but maybe I was probably just so amped up this week because I already filmed earlier, so I'm like in film mode. But what
yeah, I think I went and then you jumped on.
Sorry, brother. What'd you think of the quote of the week?
Travel is not really about leaving our homes, but leaving our habits. I like it. What I was gonna say about it, because I remember, is you're not traveling somewhere else for it to be like where you were. So so don't expect it to be, and don't try and make it to be exactly like where you came from. Just enjoy it for what it is, and experience something new.
But yeah, that's where we're at with traveling, all that stuff. And we are so looking forward to Ken next Monday. We hope to see you there. And obviously at 7 a.m. Central Time every Monday, you'll get a brand new podcast with Dane and myself, and sometimes a guest. Don't forget, in August, you're going to get a solo video from Dane Davis spreading wisdom. And please tune in every Friday at 11 a.m. for one of those videos, whether it's myself or Dane, and you're going to be fulfilled. But Dane, was there anything else?
No, not from my end.
Not from his end. Well, let me tell you something, guys. We appreciate you so much. This is week 10, and it's wild because Dane and I were going through the TikTok, and we're like, we just listened to the first episode of how like unnatural. I literally was reading paper. It was just wild. I was like, hello. This is Download the Uplift. I am Gabriel. This is Dane. Thank you for listening.
This is what I found out on my research project about the Spanish Trail.
It was a crazy trail. Thank you. Oh, shoot. But Dane, was there anything else?
Nothing else.
Give me one. I need one.
But John, was there anything else?
Oh, I love it. Hold on. Let me get that one more time.
I should use that voice like the whole time, right?
Oh, it was great.
But John, was there anything else?
Oh, well, I'll tell you what, man, I got nothing else. I can't top that. That's my co-host. I'm your other co-host. Once again, this is Download the Uplift, a place where when we fall, Dane and I try and uplift you. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you next week with Ken Parlee.
Bye, everybody. Have a nice night or day.
Later, guys. Thank you. Boom. That's a podcast.